touch the skies. Cheltenham Town and Forest Green, Gloucester City stands so keen. Talk of the county, loud and clear.
Good morning. I am your host, Daniel Hopkins, and welcome to a new episode of Talk of the County Podcast, brought to you by Traffic Safety Management Ltd, experts in traffic management, local depot in Gloucester, but support projects all around the UK. TSM keeps the roads moving safely day and night, offering local operatives a great career prospect in a socially driven company that generally looks after the people in the communities they serve. To find out more, visit www.tsmltd.co.uk. Good morning, gents. We've got Chris House, the Cheltenham Town panelist. Good morning, Chris.
Morning, boys.
We got Sean Baker, First Green. Good morning, Sean.
Morning, boys.
And we got Dave Jones / Angel, who's the only one smiling today because he's the only one who got a win yesterday. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Right, we got a couple of double games, so we'll crack straight on. Let's get straight into it. We've got a busy morning. Let's start off with Chris Howes around the grounds.
We are going to talk of the counties around the grounds by Chris Howes.
Yeah, cheers, Dan. Let's go around the grounds. Brought to you by BAM Recruitment. They find better matches than most managers in a January transfer window. Whether it's temporary or permanent, they put the right people in the right positions. Engineering, construction, and operational. No VAR needed. Check them out below. First up, the ladies. No game for Cheltenham last week. They return to action later today away at Lewes. Forest Green also had no game last week. Their game later today against Bishop's Lydiard has fallen foul of the weather. Gloucester City were in League Cup action last week away at Bishop's Lydiard, where 2 goals apiece from Caitlin Hale and Sashi Kaneko Grun sealed a 4-0 win. Gloucester face Frampton Rangers at home later today. Moving to the Southern League Division 1 South, no midweek games last week, and Hartbury's home game against Mousehole was postponed yesterday. Bishop's Cleeve did play yesterday at home to Bashley, which saw Cleeve back to winning ways with a 2-0 win. Next up for Cleeve is a trip to Falmouth on Tuesday, while Hartbury travel to Portishead Town on Saturday. Hellenic Premier Division clubs saw just 2 games completed last week. On Tuesday, Cheltenham Saracens were awarded an away walkover following Cinderford's withdrawal from the Challenge Trophy. Cinderford have submitted an application for a 3G pitch, which has received objections from Sport England, Gloucestershire FA and the Football Federation. You can support their application by clicking on the post on their X account. Yesterday, Slimbridge won 3-2 away at Pershore, and Fairford thumped high-flying Roman Glass St George 4-0 away from home. That's it from around the grounds. Back over to you, Dan.
Brilliant. Thanks, Chris. Yes, and just to reiterate what Chris said about Cinderford Town, we've got it posted on our socials, so if people can support that, it's a club which is... obviously, it's where I'm from, Cinderford, and I always, one of my first ever memories in football was watching Cinderford Town in the second round of the FA Cup, where they got into the third round draw, drew Aston Villa, and that's memories from 30 odd years ago. So let's let the next generation have those dreams and memories too. And Dave would tell you, supporting Gloucester City, they've got a 3G pitch, and the big help it can be for clubs to getting games on is massive, Dave, isn't it?
Huge, yeah. It just makes total sense for clubs in non-league, I think. I mean, the purists say they don't like it. Some City fans don't like it. I've got used to it now. The standard of our pitch is fantastic, and you don't have that, is it going to be on or off? You just know it's going to be on unless it's covered in a thick blanket of snow. Yeah, I'm a big fan of them.
Yeah, so get behind it and support it. It takes literally a minute just to
Dan, just one quick question, mate.
Yep.
What's the population of Cinderford?
Oh,
more than 6,000.
I think it is just over 6,000. I think just about 6,000. But Cinderford only get an average about 150, so that's irrelevant. They did have over 2,000 there that day for that FA Cup game against Gravesend, though. Anyway,
I joke, but yeah, do get behind that. It's excellent for not only the county but and the club. So yeah, do get behind that.
Yeah, well said. Right, let's let's start off with Forest Green Rovers. Sean, let's quickly go over to Tuesday's game. Forest Green against Woking, 4-2. What was your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a tough game. Like you said, Woking were sort of in some sort of form more than us. But I thought for a Tuesday night, it was horrible, cold, wet. He sort of, did what I would kind of expect us to do. Obviously, the game started. We started bright. I thought we started quite bright. It was all us. And then they had one chance and a goal. And you just thought, here we go again. But Forest Green actually did quite well. Obviously got a goal back. And then sort of they went up there and scored straight away. And then you just thought, I was gobsmacked. I couldn't believe it, really. But I didn't really want anything changed at half time because we were doing all right.
Yeah, I did watch the game, and Billy Hunt on the comms did turn around and say that he would be very surprised if Robbie made any changes at halftime because you were on top. But you say you went 1-0 down after 10 minutes. Are you trying to take the flag off Gloucester City or Cheltenham Town who are having a slow start?
It was just one of them where it was just against a run of play, and I just thought, here we go again. It's been sort of the story for us, I think, a little bit now, where it doesn't seem to matter what we do. We've just been struggling to keep the ball out the net.
Yeah. 4 minutes later, though, you were back on level terms, and to make it 1-1, Gabe with his first goal for the club. Was it deflected, or did he get a good powerful header on it? I couldn't really tell.
To be honest, from where I sit, I couldn't tell you whether it took a deflection or not. Obviously, looking at the highlights, I think it came off his shoulder. But you take that all day long, I don't think you really care if it comes off his shoulder or your backside, really, do you?
100%. I think if it takes a deflection, I think it's still going in. Just didn't know whether
I think it's gone down as an own goal, though.
Was it?
I think it's gone down as an own goal, but
I wouldn't have said that.
No, I was going to say it looks like his goal.
Yeah,
no, I'm happy for him. He's a young lad that's come in from obviously the Welsh League. Yeah. I thought overall against I think it was Wildstone the week before, he had quite a positive game, albeit he sort of lost his man on that corner. But I thought he had a good game, and then to come and get that goal on Tuesday night was quite good for him.
I was going to say, you was very complimentary of him after the Wealdstone game for his debut, and then to back it up the week after with a goal. There was interest in him in the summer from in the Football League, which obviously didn't materialise. But do you think he's got all those attributes to step up a level?
Yeah, I think he could be a very good player. It'd be nice to get him sort of mentored by like Jordan Moore-Taylor. I saw a few comments from people, I think it was, saying that, he could be a future captain. He just sort of had that sort of aura about him. But yeah, I mean, he looked like a smart signing. Hopefully, he learns, gets some experience, and then helps us kick on and tighten up, especially for next season, wherever it might be.
Yeah. You get back onto level terms, and then literally by the time you put into our group 1-1 Gabe, it was 2-1. You must have been spitting feathers.
Mate, I nearly lobbed my phone, mate. I put it in the group, and then that happened, and I just thought, you know what, I should have just shut up, really. But yeah, I mean, again, it was just, you didn't even, I don't even think I'd sat back down. Obviously, I think I was still stood up at that point. It all happened so quick. And yeah, I mean, it was just frustrating.
Yeah. And like you said, I think once they went 2-1 up, I don't mean this disrespectfully, but I thought Woking were a very poor side. Probably, we watched a lot of each other's games. I thought it's probably the poorest side you played in terms of on the ball. There was a couple of players there I thought probably when he was fitting at any league level, the way, how poor they and uncomfortable they was on the ball. Forest Green become on the front foot then, I thought, after you went 2-1 down, and I thought you dominated the rest of the first half. And as you said, you wasn't expecting any subs from Robbie Savage because of the way he was playing. So he kept it the same second half. Forest Green hit the post from Nick Alton. But it didn't really matter because literally minutes later he has a free kick, and what he does, he's a dead ball specialist, and he puts it into the bottom corner.
Yeah, I was really happy for Nick Alton because he's he came in with quite a big reputation. I probably didn't have that either because obviously I was bigging him up and putting him on the same level as Pearce and Linney. But he's had it tough. To come in, on Tuesday night, he played really well, and it was good to see. Because sometimes Robbie would whip him off or whatever, normally at halftime, because he's just not probably been the player that we thought he would. But he was actually having quite a good game. And then, as you said, he clobbered the post. He caught it sweet as a nut. But it just unfortunately hit the post and come back out, I think, to their player rather than one of ours. But then, not long after that, he's had a free kick. And it was nice for him to get a goal.
Yeah. How important is it, Sean? Because obviously, the form's not been the best for Forest Green, and obviously going 2-1 down for players, they can go into their shell. Don't matter what level you're at. Oh, here we go again. So to get that goal early in the second half was really important, wasn't it?
Yeah. Like I said, I think with the form Woking had been in, and obviously, their manager, Neil Ardley, he's quite an experienced manager, and we were playing well, ended up going to 1-0 down and 2-1 down, and I just thought it's probably just going to be another one of them days. I think you said, I can see Forest Green coming back and winning this, but I was sat there and I was thinking, I can't, because it just felt like it was going to be one of them sort of days and then Tuesday night games. But no, when Horton got that free kick, I felt then that we were just going to kick on and go on and win it. But obviously not. I didn't expect it to go 3-2 as quick as it did.
No, their striker, who scored in the first half, they took him off at halftime. Was that tactical to sit back, or did you hear if he went off injured, or?
Not a clue, mate.
Because he was their best player, and I just thought at the time, here it goes, they're just going to sit behind and try the low block, but they weren't very good at the low block. When you look at Truro, you look at Altrincham, when they sat in, they had something about them, they had shape, but with Woking, I just thought they were woeful.
Well, no, but I mean, second half, they brought on one lad, and I think he's probably the quickest player I've ever seen in my life.
He was quick.
I reckon he wouldn't go far wrong giving his horses a bit of a race.
Yeah, definitely. And then obviously the game really turned on his head then, Sean. Ricardo Reis, obviously when the ball was put, he was fortunate that it deflected to him, but what he shows time and time again is when he's put in that position, 9 times out of 10 he sticks in the back of the net. That's what he did and made it 3-2.
Yeah. You could say he's fortunate, but also he's a striker, and that's what he's there, isn't he? And that's what happens. He gets the touch and then hits it with his weaker foot and puts it in. If we don't have Reese, I don't think we score that goal.
No, that's what I mean.
The sort of we weren't scoring before we signed him.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. The build-up, the ball comes across, I think it hits their defender, goes into Reese's path. But what a good striker does, he's alert and ready for it. And
the thing as well is he probably, I don't really remember having too much to do before that goal. But he's, he only needs that one chance, and he takes a touch and then just finishes it with his left foot. So it was really good to see as well. I mean, obviously, it's been a bit hit and miss since he's not been hit and miss. I mean, we've had him in the team and then we've had him out of the team because he obviously got sent off. So he then had to serve a ban. Then he was back in the team. Then he was back out of the team. So he was cut tight. So he's been sort of in and out. So it's not really like he's had a chance to come in and just settle in the starting 11. He sort of had to be in and out for whatever reason. But to be fair, every time he's come in, he's done exactly what we need. Like I said, he can be quiet for sort of 80 minutes, but he'll still bang you a goal when he gets given the chance.
Yeah, and he done that. Obviously, once you went 3-2, there was only ever going to be one winner. I put straight in the thing. I said that I think I said to my wife, I said this will be 4-5 now. But in the 77th minute, the game was put to bed. Tom Knowles shot from the edge of the area. Good bit of power behind it. Sean puts in the group straight away. What a goal! So we took a bit of a recording of the replay. It was like it was straight at the goalkeeper. But you rightly said, Sean, it sort of moved in the air, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we've got something in common because I said that to your wife as well. Nah, joking.
Again?
Yeah, no. Obviously, like I said, from where I was sat, it looked like an absolute peach. It sort of went down the middle of the goal, I think. But I thought it moved in the air. Whether it did or not, I don't know. But to be fair, he caught it sweet as a nut. I know Robbie said it quite a lot, sort of couple of months back. We weren't shooting enough. And they're the sort of goals that you don't score if you don't shoot. So, it paid off. It was I think that was on his left foot as well, which is obviously Knowles' weaker foot. So, it was a good finish from him, really.
But I agree with that. Since Pep's come into English football, I think he's ruined English football because everybody's trying to play the Pep way, and I find it boring. Long gone are the days when players used to get on the edge of the area like Knowles did and just take a shot. And, it doesn't matter if the ball goes wide, goes over the bar, just take a shot. And that's what he done. He bought the ticket. People, even including myself, might sit there and say, well, the keeper stays where he is. He just powers it out. Knowles is taking a shot and the ball ends up in the back of the net. And that's a pleasing thing to see, isn't it?
Yeah. And like I said, it had a lot of power behind it. Where I'm not sure how much it did move. But either way, yeah, shoot, score, happy days. What was sweet as a nut. Again, I was happy for Knowlesy because I can't remember, did he even start that game? I can't remember if he started or whether did someone get injured early on.
I think.
Don't know, Sean. I wasn't at the game, mate.
No. He started the game and Knowlesy come on after half hour. So yeah,
he come on.
Yeah. He wasn't even due. He didn't even start that game, so it was nice for him to come on, and he actually played well and got a goal.
Yeah, more further forward because he's been being played at right back, hasn't he? Or
he came on for Jay Mingy, the new signing, who was right back. So yeah, so he was deeper then.
Yeah, 29th minute he came on. Yeah. So obviously the game finishes 4-2. Obviously, great to get back to winning ways for Forest Green's perspective. One comment, Sean, and obviously we're going to ask the comment because I always know when there's something bad at Forest Green is when Sean says it's bad because and it's more credit to you. It's like you'll always stick up for your club, and rightly so. But obviously, with the attendance was 1,067 on Tuesday, and it's obviously less than 1,000 home fans. And you was very vocal on X, Sean. Saying the fans to get behind the club, and
yeah, I was fuming really. It's a Tuesday night, horrible weather. I get that, but just make the effort. Just make the effort and get up there and watch the boys. That's all you got to do. It's a Tuesday night. What else are you doing on a Tuesday night? Probably nothing. Right? Some people, they work. I get that. Obviously, I work nights, so I booked off half a night so I could go. I hate it. Like, I hate it when I can't make Tuesday nights, and I love games, under the floodlights, like you boys probably know as well. Sometimes they're the best games, but you don't make the effort, don't bother coming on a Saturday. Simple as that.
Do you, I know we have our banter and all that, but, at the end of the day, we all love our football, and, you start to dive in and stuff like that. It's obviously clearly not Robbie. There's a good rapport with the fans in Robbie. Like you said, the form of late has not been great, but that's football. You're gonna have your peaks, and you're gonna have your troughs. Now we go back to the conversation. I've seen a few people more on the Facebook page than X have commented, about the attendance, and some have said, "I'm not going until Dale's gone." Now I find this baffling. I know Dale's not everybody's cup of tea because of what his beliefs are and what have you. But the one thing we will say, and me and Dave have spoken about this, is he's put his money where his mouth is. I think we all have spoke about it. He puts his money where his mouth is. He's backed the club. You can see the way he's backed Robbie this summer and during the season. If it's needed, yeah, go and get it. But do you think, Sean, is not so much around about what Dale's about? It might be about what the beliefs are on a Saturday. A lot of people maybe want to go to a football game and eat a burger. Do you think it's because that is taking that enjoyment out as well on a Saturday, that maybe some people, I know we're talking about Tuesday game here, but some people might think because Forest Green's right at the top of an hill for one thing, so it's not like a lot like you take like Cheltenham and Gloucester, they're a short walk from the town centres, so you can go over the road and have a Wetherspoons breakfast or whatever you want to do. But with Forest Green, obviously, you got the big walk up the hill for Nailsworth. When you get to the ground, if you're not into vegan food, there's nothing really there for you to have, is there?
I don't know. Maybe I think it could be. I don't know. I mean, for me, I think the food would be one of the last things that I think people can stop on the way. A lot of people, there's things around. All right, they're a bit further away from the ground.
Maybe
Obviously, I agree with what you said. Like I've always said, Dale's put his money where his mouth is. He's not the most popular of people, I guess, in the area. But people make the effort on Saturdays. What are you talking about?
Dave loves him.
People make the effort on Saturdays. I mean, I'm sure more could make the effort. I mean, predominantly when you look at teams, attendances are always lower on a Tuesday night, and I guess the pool of Forest Green v Wrexham isn't probably quite the same. But I still think there's a core of fans there that could still make more of an effort, and get even 1,500 up there on a Tuesday night. You get sort of 2.5 or whatever, over 2 on a Saturday. I'm sure you can still get 1,500. I just thought it was just poor from our lot.
Yeah, it was just weird.
There could be deeper problems. There could be deeper problems, like you said. I don't know. I don't personally see it myself, but from my point of view, like I said, I don't go there and think, I can't get any decent food or whatever. Like I said, you can stop. There's plenty of places around in pubs, sort of on the way, if you can get there a little bit earlier and have something in the pub before you get there.
Because I'm only going by what like my match day experiences on a Saturday. The first thing, you guys know, my wife loves football, but the first thing when we say we're going to here and we're going to there, the first thing she'll say is,
sorry, she's in the kitchen. I knew I was going to stare at her.
The first thing Charlie would say is there anywhere we can take Cora for food? Where so maybe the family side of that might be like, well, I can't get the kids thing, even though I will say your curry and chips at Forest Green are actually really nice, even though they're vegan.
Yeah, no, you're probably. I mean, yeah, that could play a big part. I mean, when we go as a family, it's sort of the same. Like our kids are just like, can we have a McDonald's? Obviously, there's one in Stroud, but that's a 15 sort of minute drive away.
Yeah.
So it is a little bit out the way if you're going up, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe it might. It might have some effect on it.
Yeah. We won't know, but we know Robbie listens to this, as somebody could ask the club, and it might be something that Dale might have.
It's never going to change. It's never going to change, is it?
It won't happen.
No.
They need to go get a burger bar down in the Cody sack around the corner, don't they?
Yeah, I'm surprised no one has, mate.
Well, you thought you
They
were
could kill it.
wouldn't you?
Like when I've been to other stadiums and they've got people who live close, they've got like a burger van off their garden and they're like serving food from their garden, like basically from their garden. It's probably no one's done that, mate.
Yeah, there you go. You sure you want to get knocking on the doors and go, look, give me 10%, but here's an idea. On to Robert's thought for the game, he said he thought the team was magnificent.
Yeah.
Exactly the reaction he was after. And this is the important one I thought from his comment was he didn't really care about the performance. He just said that Forest Green had to bounce back, and that's what they did. Sean, he was right though, wasn't he? He said, you know, it wasn't about the performance against Woking, even though he said it was a good performance. It was just about getting that win after what happened against Wealdstone. Yeah,
I think he's bang on, really. Like I said, for the form that we've been in against the teams that we've played, I'm probably not the only one. I'm sure a lot more people expected us to pick up more points, but with the run that we've obviously had coming up straight after that game, York, Rochdale, Carlisle and Borehamwood, a win was massive. We had to get a win.
Yeah. Obviously, we get on tomorrow's game now. Yesterday's game now. But yeah, had you not turned that around, and it would have been probably soul destroying for you. But you got the win, and that moved you on to York yesterday. But on Thursday, Sean, the club announced the signing of Tete Campbell from Buxton. I don't know a lot about him. I've only ever seen him once, and that was against Cheltenham early in the season in the FA Cup. What can you tell us about that signing?
They've only got 495 players on their staff now.
So yeah, obviously, I heard a little while ago that we were looking at him. But what gave it away was when Robbie said he was going up to watch Leamington v Buxton on that game that got called off because of their floodlights. But yeah, I heard obviously as I got up there that he was at the ground, and then as I went to my seat, he walked out the box behind me and he sort of like nodded at me and the lad that I sit next to, say all right. But yeah, I didn't know anything about him really other than his position and, you know, where he'd previously played. But he had, obviously when we announced him, obviously there was a lot of positive comments from Buxton fans saying he was like the glue in their side. You know, he was a really good player and they knew he was going to be moving on. I guess they didn't think he'd probably move on as quickly as he did, because I think they only signed him in the summer. So he'd only been there.
Yeah, from Hereford.
6 months.
I did hear him say in his interview, he said that Robbie did try and sign him at Macclesfield. And I don't know whether that was before Hereford. Well, it would have been before he went to Hereford. And then obviously he went to Buxton. But players like this get looked at because Buxton have had a couple of good runs in the FA Cup. So clubs and managers start going, well, you know, Buxton keep getting to the second round of the FA Cup. They've obviously got something in their side, and this is what they do. But admittedly, Robbie had already had his eye on him before he even went to Buxton.
Yeah, I think next time as well. So, you know, they're not a bad side, and to play in the National League North and be full time, you know, they must have a bit of money behind them.
Well, they got a couple of very good players who I thought stood out against us in the FA Cup. Luke Brennan on the left-hand side, who was outstanding, I thought, that day. And Talaj at front, funny enough, we had him on trial in the beginning the last summer then, if you like. We had him on trial. He scored on the day, and he was a former Man City academy player. So they have got a couple of, you know, good players, and Campbell.
I think they do. They seem to produce, like, get good players, because I think Ollie Ewan from Scunthorpe, I think he used to play for him.
Did he?
Because I saw someone ask a Buxton fan who they thought was better, Ewan or Campbell, and they was like, well, they're two different positions, but they obviously said, Ewan will probably go higher, which I think's a big call. But obviously, I think he had EFL interest in January, that Ewan. So, I mean, yeah, it's positive. They obviously bring through some good players, and I like I just like the fact that he's a permanent as well. We're not being so reliant on loans.
Not
Like
loans. Yeah.
you've seen it so many times yourselves, and like we have. You get a loan, and then in January they get recalled, and it just sort of knocks your season. So
Yeah,
it's
you can
nice
get
to
behind it more, can you?
Eh?
You can get behind it more when it's a permanent.
Yeah. So it's nice that it's a permanent as well. So yeah.
Yeah, and also Ashkar Ahmed signed on loan from Reading. He's 18 or 19. He's played 10 games for Reading. I've seen a lot of comments about if he's played 10 games for Reading, why is he at Forest Green? The reason was Reading were in a mess and he was playing a lot of young players, so he probably picked up a lot of games at a young age, kind of thing. But still positive. He's played 10 EFL games.
Yeah. Obviously didn't know anything about him. That was a little bit of signing out the blue, I think. So I'm going to assume that Jay Mingy's injury is a little bit worse than they first thought. Had to quickly try and find a replacement right back. So yeah, they brought him in, and like I said, even from the Reading fans, the comments were quite positive. I know you just said about him being a young player, and that's probably why he got a lot of his appearances. But they all seem to talk quite highly of him. So
Yeah,
be good to see what he's about.
Yeah. So let's go on to yesterday's game. And before we get your thoughts, Sean, on yesterday's game, we've got a voice note from Reece Anderson. Let's see what Reece had to say about the game.
So York versus Forest Green yesterday. York were just the much better side. It's quite clear that they're gonna go up. You would imagine with Rochdale. Between the two of them, they are two of the best sides the National League has probably ever seen. To go through the goals quickly, Ahmed, the new signing on loan from Reading, very rash going into a challenge. However, some angles afterwards do show it's a dive, so that's kind of questionable. But the referee gave it at the time, and you have to live with that. Second goal, it was a simple ball over the top, and that's just not good enough. Gabe Kirkhoff struggled yesterday. He's been really good since he came in, but he did really not have a great time yesterday. Expected against the York side. But 2-1 overall is a very positive result for Forest Green against the York side. Like I said, destined to go up. And now we move on to Rochdale midweek, and that's even harder.
Yeah, thanks, Reece. Very honest review from yourself. So, Sean, Forest Green 1, York 2. What was your thoughts on the game, Sean?
Before the game, I was a little bit worried. York have been on fire. They score goals for fun. And obviously, yeah, I was thinking, stick us on a pitch with them, and I thought it could look a little bit nasty by the end. Forest Green actually done all right. I thought the performance was really good, was quite good. Couple of mistakes, which you can't afford to give York. They don't really need that. Well, I say a couple of mistakes. I've actually seen the first goal in, for me, it's 100% a dive. Problem is, referees at this level, like you boys know, ain't very good. You give them a decision to make, and I think 11 times out of 10 they're going to get it wrong.
Yeah, let's go on to the penalty. It was given obviously away by Ashkar Ahmed. I thought Robbie was quite fair in his thoughts on it. He didn't say it wasn't a penalty, but what he said was we've given a decision to make because he's jumped in. But the angle you shared this morning, Sean, I'm inclined to agree that I don't think it was a penalty. Again, if you jump in like that, referee's seen it once, not on an angle of a TV. The referee's probably looking for this angle where the camera's at this angle. He's given it, but in my opinion, it's not a penalty in a million years.
Yeah, to be fair, Robbie said from the referee's angle, he said it's a penalty.
Yes.
On the TV, I said the same thing. But then that angle that I saw, that I sent you boys, was from a York fan, and even their fans were then, I think they were milking that decision because they kind of knew what it was. I felt sorry for him. I thought he was a bit I thought he was trying too hard to impress maybe. So I thought he was a little bit I don't feel he needed to jump in and give that referee a decision to make. I think he was just a little bit too keen. I think it was a debut, a big game, and he was probably just a bit excited, I guess, and he got a bit carried away. But either way, it's a dive. But I thought the lad done really well.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? You know, these players, they come in, you know, whether it's at Cheltenham Town, Gloucester City, or Forest Green. When you're signing an 18-year-old on loan, their club are sending them to your club to make those mistakes, so they learn from them. So he's going to make the odd mistake, and you know, and that's where Robbie put his arm around his shoulder and say to him, saying, "Look, you know, maybe he got past you, but just see him on that byline. Don't dive in and give the referee a decision." But yeah, seeing the replay, it definitely wasn't a goal.
I think the ball's probably going to run out for a goal kick as well. So if he does just stand there, I think it's just a goal kick and nothing comes of it. So yeah, but I do feel sorry for him because it wasn't a penalty. So then it's sort of, you know, give him a bit of a, not a bit of a name, but people's probably thought, oh, what's he done that for? But he certainly made up for it a few minutes later.
Yeah, you said that they could have scored again, but he done really well, didn't he?
Yeah, he cleared it off the line. I think it was more or less on the line. They sort of passed it round, and I ain't sure who had the ball on the edge of the box or it just inside the box. But the goal was there. It was almost empty. I think Harry Ice, I think the way when the ball got squared, he couldn't scramble across the goal quick enough. He got his body in the way and got an excellent block. So that kind of made up for that penalty for me, because that would have been 2-0.
Yeah. It was 2-0 in first half stoppage time. And we've talked about for all our clubs about that goal just before half time, how it can kill games or and what have you. But Ollie Pearce makes it 2-0. I did see the Robbie's thoughts, and I think you said, Sean, about you thought there was mistake in it, but I've seen the goal back. They do about 20, 30 passes. It seemed a decent goal to me.
I saw a highlight, and they've done a fair few passes. I think our problem was we got pulled out. Like Gabe got caught quite high. It was just a simple ball over the top in the end, which I think is probably the mistake. Mendy then got dragged into the ball, left Ollie Pearce free. I think it was just inside the box, and you can't leave Ollie Pearce free just inside the box. I mean, you know, that's just criminal.
But Sean, does that come with, and you know, it's just getting your opinion on this, does that come with the eye press? Because when you play an eye press, if your forwards are pressing eye, your midfield then drop in, you know, more into the top end of the centre circle. Your centre halves push up a little bit more. Yeah. Have York played the press really well, and seen that Forest Green were pressing? Because Robbie mentions 20 minutes into the game, first 20 minutes, Forest Green press was really good. Do you think more credit?
Yeah, it could well be. Maybe I don't know. Maybe with someone a bit more experienced there, they might know that that's a chance they could get caught out, and they might not go up as high. But you know, that's part and parcel, I guess, of what we're playing. But yeah, I mean, you know, again, I think Gabe's 18, 19. Looks a great player. I mean, I feel sorry for him. I think I saw a comment, someone saying that was 3 games and sort of 3 mistakes. But you know, he seems like a good lad. So sometimes you just gotta ride the storm a little bit, and hopefully he'll learn, you know, pretty soon.
Well, we all make mistakes. We make mistakes in our job. You know, and it's like we've said before. This apart from Dave, we said before. If you're a striker, you can miss 3 chances and still end up scoring the winning goal. If you're a goalkeeper and a defender, if you make a mistake, the chances are the ball's going to end up in the back of your net. This is the nature of the beast, isn't it?
Yeah, and you know, against a lot of sides don't have Ollie Pearce either. So, you know, there's no one really more clinical in the league than Ollie Pearce, maybe Ricardo Reese.
Yeah. So Rovers go in at halftime 2-0 down. The most important thing was in a game like that is the next game, because you was fearful before the game, Sean, was you was quite open saying that this could be nasty if we don't get it right. if they'd got the third goal, it could have gone on to be, but it didn't. You got the next goal. McAllister gets you back in the game. It was important.
Yeah. Obviously, 2-0 is a horrible scoreline for any team, innit? They always say that the next goal is the most important goal. We obviously managed to get that. Do you know what? I thought we were going to get an equaliser from somewhere, but we just couldn't get that final ball in the end to get the equaliser. But yeah, it was nice for Maka to get another goal. So yeah, I mean, at least 2-1's a respectable scoreline against York with the form they've been in as well. And I thought the performance, especially second half, was quite good.
Yeah. Well, York, after you got the goal back, York seemed to sit in a lot for the rest of the game, and whether they was trying to play the counter attack or was happy to try and see the game out. But the biggest talking point of the second half was the penalty shout. Now, obviously, Robbie's thoughts are, yes, it's handball, but there was a push in the back. But you're a bit different, Sean. I think you think it was a penalty.
I don't think I've had any say on it. I spoke to Robbie and he just said to me exactly what you said. He thought it was a foul. He said, yeah, he's handballed it. You see these incidents all the time, don't you? And it's probably one of them that we probably need that little bit of luck to get a penalty, especially up somewhere like York. But that's football, unfortunately. And
I don't know why they don't just say, if it hits your hand in any position, anywhere on the pitch, it's a foul.
Yeah, there's too many grey areas with handball rule.
It's just clean clear. It's what the annoying thing is the inconsistency, isn't it? It was natural. Is that a natural position? Is that a natural position? Just say, if it hits your arm or your hand in the box or anywhere on the pitch, it's a foul, free kick or penalty.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it's the same for every team.
Like, there was one couple of weeks ago in the Arsenal Forest game, wasn't there, where the guy moved his hand towards the ball to stop it from going out, and then VAR looked at it and said it was a natural arm motion. I mean, you got no chance in the National League to get these decisions.
I think it's just go back to what used to be. If it's ball to hand, it's a penalty. If it's your hand, if it's hand the ball, if it's ball to hand, it's not a penalty. If it's hand the ball, it's a penalty. Now it's like, it's where your arms thing. Is it a natural? It's just so confusing, and nobody knows.
Is it a foul? Is it not a foul? There's too many different, I guess, obstacles on the handball rule now. So you just got to go with what the referee says. And at the end of the day, that's what we all want. And we all want the referees to make these decisions. And he's obviously made that one.
Yeah. So that obviously the game ends in a 2-1 defeat, Sean. That's 2 wins in 9. Are you concerned, especially with Rochdale, Carlisle and Bournemouth coming up?
Funnily enough, no. I kind of want to say I feel a little bit more optimistic against Rochdale. I don't know why, but I'm hoping we can get at least a draw there. As for Carlisle, I think they're very equal to us at the moment. They're not, they're a bit hit and miss, and they're only, I think they're right next to us in the table as well. And Bournemouth seem to have fell off a cliff. So I'm looking forward to get Rochdale out of the way, and then I'll be a bit more optimistic with Carlisle and Bournemouth.
Yeah, there's one comment I've got off Robbie's thoughts, and I repeated it in our group. It was something I've seen yesterday. So obviously Robbie's thoughts on yesterday's game was he's pleased with certain aspects of the game. Thought it was a pen. We've talked about that. Thought you played well. The press bang on for the first 20 minutes. Said this is the one thing he said, and I want to get probably your view on this. Said teams will worry about playing Forest Green in the playoffs. Now, everybody in the playoffs, you worry about who you play, but just want to say in the top 7, and Robbie does say this at the end of his interview, in the top 7, Scunthorpe you've lost and drew, Carlisle you've lost, Bournemouth you've won, York you've lost and drew, Southend you've won, and Rochdale you've lost. What makes Robbie think that teams will worry about playing first? I want to get your perspective. Why they think they'd worry about playing first green in the playoffs? I'll get my words out in a minute.
I'm not 100% sure why. Like, I think I guess as a manager, you want people to worry about your team. I think, like you said, everyone's worried about anyone playing in the playoffs. Nobody wants to, play in the playoffs today. I know it's nice when you win and go up through the playoffs, but it's always a gamble. Sometimes teams hit a bit of form towards the end of the season and it takes them through the playoffs. Yeah, I mean, you look at Oldham last season and I'm not sure how much form they had going into the playoffs. But, he's building, a side, and I guess hopefully when it comes to the playoffs, yeah, we'll be a bit more, I want to say consistent, but hopefully our results will be a bit more consistent, should I say. Yeah, but I don't know really.
Yeah, and fight.
I mean, York fans did say how good we looked. They said we looked a good side. So, and I think their assistant manager who done his post-match chat was quite complimentary as well. So maybe that's what he's taken on board.
Well, like I say, you're worried about anybody in the playoffs. And if Forest Green go into the playoffs with their early season form, teams will worry, won't they? But
I do want to say though, I thought Tate Campbell, that was obviously the first time I've properly watched him, and I thought he done really well yesterday. I thought he looked a good player. So I thought he looked a very good player. So I'm excited to see more of him as well.
Yep. And finally, the question has got to be asked, because a lot of your fans are tweeting it. The size of the Forest Green squad, I think it's about 34, 35. There's 6 players left who remain from the Cottrell time. 4 who Robbie does use, more Taylor, Knowles and McAllister. So that leaves Cirque, Long and Harris who don't get played. Is it important now, Sean? Obviously, Robbie's got the players that he wants. Is it important now, Robbie, to try and get some of these off the books?
I think Bunker was there as well.
RV Bunker, yes. Sorry, I missed him off, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we have got a big squad. I don't think anyone can deny that. Obviously, we need to try and, I think, start shipping some out. I mean, obviously, some just ain't part of the squad at all, are they? But yeah, I mean, I don't want to. I know everybody loves a sign-in. I mean, but I don't want to see any more sign-ins happen. Not this season. Not until we've shipped 25 or so out.
Yeah, I was talking to an ex-pro, was it last week? And I said to him, because I was talking about Forest Green, and I said to him, how detrimental is it to the harmony of a squad, having a big squad? And he said it can be massive. He said, because what players do don't get played. Because like I say, there's only so many times Robbie can say to a player, keep training hard, you'll get in with team, keep training, because they'll start seeing after that they're not in the squad. And he said, and they form cliques. He said, and then you'll get somebody who will moan to 2 other players who then are also not playing, and then they moan, and it just takes that bit of harmony out of the side. So that's why I mean it's important now to get a few of the ones.
I mean, like I said, the thing for me is I want to see more permanent players come in, which, I think we've started doing slowly. I don't like to be too reliant on loans. Again, I think you boys know that. I think if you're too reliant on loans, it's hard to get through the season because of recalls and things like that. I think next season, hopefully, we'll have a bit more of a manageable squad, should I say, and more permanent players as well. So again, when you've got that, you're not going to be getting these players in and out on loan. I think a few of our, we've had quite a few injuries as well. You look at like Jordan Moore-Taylor, Ryan Innes have both been long-term injuries. Sean Etaluku, another long-term injury. We signed Jay Mingy. I think he played, 1 game, 2 games, injured. And so they've had to go in and get another right back. So I think injuries have not helped the situation either. But I think we've panicked into a couple of signings, but I think one of the big things is injuries. And then there's obviously players there, like you said, that just aren't part of the plans, but they won't move. So what can you do?
Yep. So let's watch this space. Well, that's Forest Green Rovers. Thank you, Sean.
Cheers, Dan.
Let's go on to Gloucester City. Dave, tough midweek game down at Gosport.
Yeah,
And a
no,
nice 2-0 win.
yeah, it's great result. I didn't make it. Couldn't get there. Work stuff going on, too late, so I couldn't get down there. But I've spoken to a lot of people who did go, and I've seen the goals, and I've spoken to people, and yeah, it was just what we needed. Really, it was always going to be a little tough period with these away games. But yeah, after the disappointment of Walton and only getting a point at Sholin, yeah, getting 3 points at Gosport was vital, and we did.
Yeah. And another positive for the night as well was a start for Kieran Thomas.
Yeah, great to have him back. He's made a huge difference already. Yeah.
Yeah. We've spoken before about him, haven't we? How important he can be. He's a good player. And I was on the Robins Report on Tuesday night, and even Mark Halliwell said definitely should have played in the Football League.
Yeah.
It's highly rated. It seems that the first half City controlled a lot of the ball out of quite a few half chances. So obviously it's a bit pleasing for Gloucester to go to somewhere like Gosport, get on the front foot, control the tempo of the play.
Yeah.
Because like I said, it was a tricky game, Dave, for you guys, really.
It was, yeah. It was, it was very capable of not winning, losing or drawing. But yeah, listening to it on the radio, it sounded quite cagey. We seemed to have the upper hand, but it was a question of we need this first goal, and it took quite a long time coming. But when it did.
It did. So it obviously goes in 0-0 at half time. City started the second half the way they ended the first, really. But in the 68th minute, the breakthrough came. Pinch yard, beautiful 25-yard.
Yeah, nice little play by Watts on the right hand side. Played into Pinchard. He finds that space outside the area in so well. And yeah, you give him the ball there, and don't challenge him, and you're in trouble. And yeah, he sweet left footer into the top corner, and it was 1-0.
Yeah, lovely finish. That's his 7th goal of the season for Pinchard. How glad are you he never made that move to Cheltenham?
Very glad. Very glad. When he plays well, we play well.
Yeah. That's thought just there, and it was a totally different game. But one of the things he said was he could play higher, and
without a doubt,
he could go higher as well. So yeah, he's a good player. In the 80th minute, Jared had to make a great point blank save. That would have been a kick in the nether region if that had gone in.
Yeah. He kept us. Yeah, he's made a lot of those saves this season at vital times. And yeah, keeping it 1-0 was so important at that stage of the game.
But it was because that was his first save of the game, Dave. Really, and
I don't think he'd been called into action at all. But that's the joys of being a goalkeeper, isn't it? You might not have anything to do all day, but when you do get something to do, you got to do it right, and you did. And he's a great shot stopper.
Exactly, it's also a sign of a very good goalkeeper, the one who has nothing to do with the game and can still be switched on.
Yeah.
But in the 84th minute, the game was put to bed. The return of the man, Simpson with the goal.
Yeah, it's good to have him back. He ball played into him with a yard of space in the area, and he does what he does best. A couple of touches, and it's in the back of the net. He gets shot away nice and early, and very good to have him back. And he looks like he's benefited from his time away. He looks recharged and fresh, and be very useful going to the remainder of the season.
Well, that was his 14th goal this season against Gosport. It's important he gets back to form because, like I said, now with the eyes firmly on the playoffs, we just said about Robbie's thoughts in terms of players, people not wanting to play against Forest Green. Not a lot of defenders that want to defend against Simpson, will they?
No, and it's not the beauty of it is it's not just Simpson. I mean, if it's not Simpson, we've got Ellis Watts, we've got Pinchard, we've got goal threat from got Hanks, we've got a goal threat from so many different players. They can't just all concentrate on Simpson. If they do, somebody else will chip in. So yeah, we've got goals throughout the team.
Yeah. Dash thoughts for the game, because not a lot really happened apart from the 2 goals. Dash thoughts on the game. Good win, good performance. He wanted to dedicate that to the fans. He said the way form has not been good enough. He said, but they travel week in, week out. He said so he wanted to give that to the fans. When I saw the little picture of how many went down, Dave, fair play. It was a good.
Like 40 or 50 by the look of it, I think.
Yeah, they're all bunched in the corner as well, which I like. I hate it when
helps, doesn't it? Rather than so then you only had 10 there, and they're all dotted all around the ground, and some sat in the stand and stuff. But yeah, they all got behind the goal by the look of it, and yeah, cheered the boys to victory. It was a victory.
Yeah, it's the same with Forest Green. I forgot to say it actually. They put Forest Green into the corner behind the goal yesterday, and I think it was 220 of them went. And it always just looks better, and when the fans are bunched together and letting them just like spread across the stand, and so yeah, fair play to those who travelled. He goes on to say that obviously the clean sheet was important, and he said it's one of those games where it's one win and you go again Saturday, and that's why I like the mentality of Daff. It's always, sometimes you can see when a manager is very generic. In what he says.
He's very pragmatic. He literally just concentrates on a game at a time. And I genuinely believe he doesn't really look at other results and look at the table. He just focuses on just one game, do the best we can, get the points, move on to the next one.
Yeah, and obviously before yesterday's game, that then put you 7 points clear of Gosport, who were sitting in 4th. So, you can't underestimate how a big win this was, because we've spoken, haven't we, over the last couple of weeks about the potential of Gloucester maybe just looking over their shoulder and seeing who could maybe catch them. So to have that cushion,
a good few started to say that, looking at the table and worrying. To be honest, I've never thought we're going to drop out the playoffs. Never thought. To me, it's all about finishing as high in the playoffs as possible and getting that second spot. And as it stands, we're in second. And it's ours to try and keep.
Exactly that. Let's go on to yesterday's game then, Dave. Gloucester City 3, Weymouth 1. But before the game, it was sadly announced that Richard Everton was retiring from football.
Absolutely. I didn't see that coming at all. But if it's right for him and his family, then we sort of wish him nothing but the best. He's been a fantastic player for us. He really has.
Is it
just touch on absolute rock.
Touch on the injury, Dave. Is it a knee injury?
I think it's a knee. Yeah, he's been a bit of a Paul McGrath situation. He's been nursing it, and unable to train, and plays one, sits on the bench for one, and it's just I presume he's got medical advice that he's doing himself serious damage, and it's time to hang up the boots. So that's what he's decided to do. But he was there yesterday.
Yeah, and you're right. You see it all the time. When a player has to retire, they've gone to see a specialist and they've said, you carry on playing, you won't be walking when you're 50, 60.
Having said that, they told Tom Webb that when he was about 29, and he carried on playing for about another 400 games.
You'll see Tom in 10 years' time, and he'll have new knees and on crutches. But onto yesterday's game. Wet, windy day, Dave. But
it was the weather forecast was quite nice, and it was looking like we were going to have a really, really big attendance. At about 12 o'clock, it just absolutely started hosing down. And I can't imagine how many people who were planning to go looked out the window and thought, oh, sod that. It wasn't a bad attendance. It was just over our average. So it was 1,222.
Yeah.
So, decent attendance. But we were kind of hoping it was going to be up to like 15, 16, 1,700. But not to be. But they missed out. Those who didn't go along missed out on another great result.
Yeah, and we've just spoken about the Gosport game, but it was to go there and get that win. But the important thing was for you guys was to back that up against Weymouth, wasn't it?
Yeah, and Weymouth Oh, I mean, on the form table, they're top of the table. In the last like 3 games, they've beaten they've beaten Walton and Hersham, and they've beaten Poole. So they've got a good side there now, a really good side, and his goal was going to be a really big challenge. Kind of felt confident. I don't know. I always feel confident at home, and it's weird. I never feel confident for away games. I always like on the sort of negative side and more in hope than expectation. But at home, I go to every home game thinking we're going to win it, which goes back to why I think it's so important we get that second place. But yeah, it was a very important game and a very tough game, and one that we could very easily have slipped up in. And for a long period, well, not a long period, but a short period, it looked like we were going to.
Well, they've been in good form as well, Weymouth, haven't they? You know, they've beat Poole the other week as well.
Yeah, Poole, Havant and Waterlooville, top of the form table. Yeah, very good form.
A first start day for Siddle, is that your name? Is it Siddle?
Yeah, Siddle.
Yeah, Siddle.
He played well. He created the first goal. They're a tidy little player.
Yeah. Disappointingly for City, though, on the half-hour mark, Phillips had to come off. That is really disappointing because he
playing well, so upset. It was happened down the end. We were attacking. I suppose that's expected with him being a striker, but yeah, he sort of came off. He was lay off the pitch, and he had his head in his hands, and he just looked absolutely distraught. Bless him. And so don't know what it is, but I'm guessing possibly a hammy. Yeah, he looked. He's just come back. He's just really starting to look good again and fire. But yeah, he's so unlucky. But he looked devoed as he was walking his way. He went straight back to the changing rooms, and hopefully it's nothing too serious, and he'll be back soon.
Yeah. Did Ruben Reid get any stick? Being a former Cheltenham boy,
didn't he? He did. Do you know what? I didn't even know he was playing from. Being down the Emery shootout all the time. I didn't really see a lot of their strikers, but
but I think he came on
when it came to strikers. But they've got this Brandon, what's his name? Brandon Good something, and
he scored that goal, didn't he?
He's been scoring goals for fun lately, and yeah, I was looking out for him, and yeah, he scored the penalty that they won. I can't really comment too much on whether it was a penalty. Apparently it was soft, but it's given. So yeah, go 1-0 down at that stage of the game, and you start to think, bugger, it's not going to be our day. But it was.
Yeah. City get the goal they will feel they deserved, and as you just said, Siddle with the assist, and Pinchard in a bit of a short range Tony Yeboah.
yeah, he struck it really well.
But that's obviously two goals in a week for Pinchard. And as you just said with the Gosport game, he's starting to get a bit of form now.
He has, yeah. He's playing very well.
Yeah, it could have been two minutes later. King Badu, it's the post.
Yeah, struck it really well. Came back off the upright back, but yeah, it was. We were playing really well and looking like we were going to score again.
He was one player that, as we've spoken, as we've done these pods through the season, he always seems to be the one. Like, his name's mentioned a lot, but over the last few games, he's been on the bench.
He started on the bench yesterday. Came on for Kieran Phillips. Yeah, I mean, I think there's always place for somebody who's got absolute searing pace in a side. Defenders don't like facing it, and yeah, he's a great addition to the squad. But we've got quite a lot of talent out wide with Watts and Siddle, and so yeah, he's not going to start every game, but when he does, he never lets us down.
Is he one of those players, Dave, where when he's on form, he's unplayable, but when he's not in form, you don't really notice him?
Yeah, I'd say that's an excellent description of him. When he gets the bit between his teeth, he looks like different gravy, but sometimes he fade out of the game a little bit and you don't see too much of him.
Yeah. So obviously you go into half time, 10 minutes into the second half, Ruben Reid brought down by Kieran Thomas for a penalty. Was there any? They make it 1-1. Was there any complaints on the penalty, Dave?
A few people who were down that end said that they thought it was soft, but it's a penalty, isn't it? So
yeah, again, like I said, with the Forest Green, when the ref only gets to see it once, and
yeah, exactly.
we might be spitting feathers.
When we concede a penalty, there's always like normally you're thinking 95% it's a goal, and you'd be surprised by a save. But when you got Jared Thompson in goal with such a record of saving penalties, you always feel quite disappointed when it goes in. But when went in, it did.
Yeah, and obviously it was important then for City to not let their edge drop and regroup and go again.
Yeah,
and they did that. But
well, after they scored, they were absolutely dominant for about 10-15 minutes. They were all over us, and it really looked like the game had gone and they were going to score again. But then, don't know what, something changed. We got ourselves back into the game, and then we just started dominating them, and we were just creating chances and had all the possession, and it eventually came.
Yeah, and in the 87th minute, probably no better time to score. Ellis Watts gets away, gets a huge goal for City. It's kind of a cross, wasn't it?
I'm not having it.
I'm
not having it. I was right there. Hanksy, I'm sure Hanksy got a touch on it. Absolutely.
I was gonna ask, did you think it was Hanksy? But I couldn't see the touch.
I'm convinced there was a deviation. I'm convinced Hanksy got a touch on it, but it's been given to Ellis. So.
Even if it is Ellis's goal, it was definitely a cross, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'd say so. But it's one of those, isn't it? That the keeper doesn't know whether it's going to get a touch, and sort of is expecting a touch, and it didn't. It would have, if Hanksy hadn't got a touch on it, it would have gone in. But I'm convinced he did.
He did wheel away and celebrate. Like
that's another thing. Yeah, he celebrated like somebody who'd got a touch.
Yeah,
so I think he did. But
yeah, it was a bit like it was a bit like Caber's goal for Grimsby. It was a ball into the box. It was definitely a cross. It goes for everybody, and before you know it, the keeper's like, "Whoa!" when it's in the back of the net, kind of thing. But hey, Gloucester don't care. That put you 2-1 up.
No, that was 1-0. That was that. That was of course 2-1 up. Yeah,
2-1,
sorry.
Yeah, did. And that puts you 2-1 up, and then obviously in the 92nd minute, King Badu puts the cherry on the top with a shot that, let's say, the goalkeeper made a bit of a hash of.
Well, the goalkeeper sort of saved it and palmed it back out, and Badu got sort of some contact on it.
It's just trickled over the line.
And then the defender cleared it like off the line, but when you see it was quite clearly a foot over the line when he cleared it. So yeah, the linesman was right in the right place. If you look at the footage, you can see the linesman was literally stood on the corner flag looking across, so he could see it gone over, and thankfully gave it, and makes it look like a pretty comfortable win, which it probably was on the balance of play, but yeah, it's so I think they can probably feel quite unlucky on the end of a 3-1 defeat.
But you say there, Dave, you said about that when they equalised, they had the lion's share at the game, the possession.
For about 10 minutes, they were all over us, yeah.
Yeah, but that's the important bit, isn't it, is staying strong in those moments, because at the end, you've gone on to win the game quite comfortably.
Yeah. Michael O'Regan and Jamal Mohammed at the back were absolutely rock solid again. Losing Bree is a huge blow, but it's tempered by the fact that we've got Jamal. He really is a very, very good, very accomplished centre-back. Calm on the ball, brings it out well, strong in the air. I really hope we can keep him for the season.
Is he fit? Is he slotted in well, Dave?
Very much so, yeah. It's like he's a lot older than his years for a young lad at centre-back. He's definitely got that. I get the same vibes about him as when we had a very, very young Robbie Cundy in the side, and you could just look at him and think, he's going to have a career in the Football League, and I'd be utterly amazed if Jamal Mohammed doesn't also. And you could say the same about Michael O'Regan. He'd be my player of the season so far. I think he's come in from Evesham, who was their player of the season last year, and he's 22 years old, and also just looks so comfortable, accomplished at the back. Doesn't get flustered. They make a great pairing.
Yeah. Well, obviously, you look at the league table, and for you to score late yesterday, it just feels like it might be one of those moments in the season where you go,
It could be a pivotal one. Yeah,
yeah,
I agree. I agree.
you know,
We're a
Sholin,
couple of points above Paul, and we're what 11 points above Farnham, but they've got 5 games in hand. Would
yeah,
I
your
rather
third,
have 5 games in hand, or would I rather have played those 5 games and banked 11 points? I think I'd rather have the 11 points than 5 games in hand.
well,
They're
more
going to be
importantly, your 13
I
point
said that about Rochdale.
yeah.
That went down the pan.
Um, oh, yeah. Well, I think more importantly, I know they got 1 game in hand, but you're 13 points ahead of Sholin. So
we ain't dropping out of the playoffs.
no. I think
Not a hope.
if you're not catching Walton, you're not dropping out the playoffs because it's pretty much the same.
They dropped points yesterday, so it's that horrible little maybe again, little in the back of your mind starting to think could it happen? But if you look at it, they got, what are they, 7 points above us, but they've got 2 games in hand. So really, if they win one of them, that's 10 points. That's a big gap to claw back.
Yeah, 2 games in hand.
You never know if we win the next couple and they have another little wobble, if you can suddenly get them back to 4 points behind them, and then it starts to make you think, doesn't it?
Well, it's Daft's mentioned it a lot that you guys are going through like a tough period in terms of game wise. They've still got theirs to come, so you just got to keep winning.
Walton have got to play Farnham yet, so one of them will be dropping points in that game. Obviously, we've got Walton last game of the season. In a dream scenario, we've already secured second, and we're 2 points behind them going into the last game of the season. That would make for some day at Meadow Park.
I definitely would. It's always a hope that kills you, Dave.
It is very true.
But yeah, I think the most important thing for you guys, as you say, is to finish second. At if you could, to get that home draw. On to Dash thoughts. Again, he said pleased with the result and the performance. The game panned out the way he expected. What did he mean by that, Dave?
Don't really know. I've got a crystal ball, I think.
But he's obviously did their homework.
They weren't going to lie down, I suppose, and that we had to be patient and take our chances when they came, and we did. So,
yeah, he praised Pinchard, as we said earlier. He said he'd definitely play. He can definitely go again, go higher. And obviously we know that because he had the trial with Cheltenham in the summer.
Yeah, I think not only does that trial prove that clubs have a look at him and think his ability-wise, conversely it also shows that he's got that ambition. Some players don't want to do it, do they? No. They've got a job and they're happy with their bunts a week on top of their normal salary. But he's young and he wants to be a full-time professional footballer.
But he's 20, is he 22, 23?
22, 23, yeah.
So he's still got a chance to have a good career.
Yeah, he has. And I wouldn't begrudge him it. Hopefully we can, if we go up this season, then we can give him ourselves higher level football next season. But it wouldn't surprise me to see him better himself and end up with a full-time contract somewhere eventually.
I was just about to say that makes it important, doesn't it, for Gloucester to go up this season to be able to keep older players like him.
You can't help thinking that applies to a few players. I think Michael O'Regan is too good for the Southern League Prem. I think Ellis Watts on his day is playing well below his level, and somebody could very easily come and pick him up at the level above us. So yeah, I think it's vital to keep hold of our best players, that we make that step up back to the National League. Yeah,
and just finally on Saturday, you got Chertsey, which we were talking about them being a playoff. I don't think they're going to threaten Gloucester much now, but again, it's a chance to really push them away from you, not having to worry about them.
Yeah, it would probably put nail in the neck off him, or certainly of catching us, but. Yeah, we've got a coach running. If everybody wants to come on the coach, we've still got spaces down to Chertsey next Saturday.
Get in contact with Dave. But yeah, so all in all, a good week for Gloucester, Dave.
Excellent week.
Brilliant. Right, so that's Gloucester City. Thanks, Dave.
Pleasure.
Right,
let's go on to Cheltenham Town. Sponsored by Emirates Racing, a new sponsor on board this week. Find them on all your social platforms. And Chris, am I right to say it's from foul to retirement?
It's not foul, no. It's from foal to retirement.
Foul to retirement.
To put it in layman's terms, it's for when they're a little young horse to when they stop racing.
Yeah, exactly that, Dave. So when you can get involved in their horse racing syndicates from the moment that they've got them, and you get a backstage look at the rearing of racehorses, and then through their racing career, all the way through to retirement.
Brilliant.
Very
like I said,
affordable.
you can follow them on Emirates Racing on all the social platforms, and get in contact with the podcast and Emirates Racing on socials if you've got any questions or you want to get involved. So let's move on to Cheltenham Town, Chris, and we'll talk about the transfer deadline day. The most controversial one we'll start off with, which is Mo Fowl. Very good player, but injured.
Yeah, out until mid-March, I believe. Look, if he can come in when he is fit, and score a few goals, that'll be his job done. Look, we've got 6 loans. He's that 6th loan at the moment, so it's not taking anything out of our current team. When he comes back in, someone's going to miss out. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. He may not get fit. You never know.
Have you seen a lot of him play?
I have. Very good player.
Yeah. I mean, he was with Fylde for quite a while, and I've got first-hand experience of him absolutely destroying us a couple of times. He's a very, very good player.
Yeah. I'm excited by it. This, I believe, has been made public that this was the player we was going for at the beginning of the window, and he got injured. But the injury, I don't think, is as bad as first feared. But they expect him to be fit and ready to play first week to mid-March, as Chris just said. We're not paying for
the
him.
thing about the deal that I like, Dan, is that it's basically on a pay-as-you-play.
Yes.
That's what I like about the deal. There's no losers in that scenario, I don't think.
No, there's not, and if he comes back and has a blinding last 10 games, let's not be around the bush. We could get dragged into a relegation battle, and he could be the difference to make sure we don't go down. So, let's wait and see. And then obviously Ashfield, who came in from Wrexham. You always know when a player is a good player when a Forest Green fan says he's a good player.
I don't know about that. Forest Green fans don't know anything about football, but there you go. It's one
Who
of
said
them.
he's a good player?
You did.
I don't know anything about Ashfield.
You
I
said
think you're
Robbie.
you're getting confused with Robbie.
You say Robbie Savage said he's actually a better
Yeah,
player
he
than...
did. I didn't. I think he's shite.
Well, all right, I'll take the opinion of someone who's played 50-odd international games and 300-odd Premier League games there.
You should be getting playoffs with them signings. If not, Cots has flopped, mate.
I agree, mate. I'd forced him to win the league. What's your thoughts on him, Chris? I don't know too much about him, but
I didn't know too much about him, but he comes with exceptional references from Wrexham and their fans, and likewise former Premier League players. So it's a case of let's wait and see, I guess.
Yeah, and the big one was the one we all wanted. It was, is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? The return of Isaac Hutchinson.
Now, I've said on this pod, I could not see it happening, and I'm pretty sure Isaac's forced it through. I'm pretty sure Isaac's forced that through, to be honest. It's excellent, absolutely excellent, and that could be the difference between us finishing 3 places off bottom and maybe a bit higher up.
Yeah, 100%.
Are they the same sort of position that Ashfield and Hutchinson or not?
I think so, actually. I think they are quite similar in position, although Hutch is more of a more of an 8 that goes into a 10, whereas Ashfield, I believe, is a 10. Although he played really deep yesterday, but
he came on as an 8 yesterday. And I think Hutch. I think if they both play, you'll probably see Hutchison playing as a number 10, and Ash, because that's how
I don't think they play together. I've got to be honest.
So we got a problem then, because there's no way Ashfield's sitting on the
it seems
bench.
a bit of a waste to sign a player who's that good.
I agree with that, but I don't see them both playing in the same game.
I disagree. I think they will.
They
What I said of him yesterday, I only come on for like 15 minutes, but he dropped deep and he likes to get on the ball. And the first thing he done when he got on the ball was he looks up, and that will only benefit Isaac Hutchinson, because Isaac Hutchinson is going to want a player who feeds that ball into him.
Cole, by the way, Cole Deeman, and we'll move on to this. Cole Deeman's given Cots a problem, because I think he can play in that position as well.
Yeah, we're stacked now. Let's get on to the game. We'll talk about it. But the final two was finally a goodbye to Bakari and Sona. Long overdue.
It's been, you took the words out of my mouth there, to be fair. It's overdue. It's a shame for those players. Bakari, I really liked when he first came in, and his connection with the fans when he first came in was excellent. He's just, unfortunately, I don't think he's good enough to be in League Two at the moment. I think he can be. But I don't think that time is now. And Sona, unfortunately, off the ball, is just not good enough. On the ball, he's exceptional, silky, and he's got such a great range of passing. But off the ball, he's poor, unfortunately.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree on the Sona one. Bakari, I'd be very surprised if you see him back in the Football League. I think his problem has always been is the ball in behind him. When he's running back towards his goal, you look at the goals we conceded with him in this team, his position is really poor. But
yeah, I mean, his positioning and his turn of pace and his acceleration are both poor. He's not slow when he gets up to speed. It just takes him about 3 hours to get up to speed.
Yeah, that's probably fair. And you've only got to look at his stint at Gateshead. If he was putting up trees, they would have wanted to keep him, and they didn't. And they're in a relegation.
He made a glaring error that was all over social media
against Carlisle
when he was at Gateshead, and I think that probably scuppered any chance of that deal going ahead.
Yeah, definitely. I've been saying to Dave, if this is no joke. I'm not joking here, but if I was Gloucester City, I'd be all over it and just say, come and play for us to the end of the season.
Yeah, I mean, Gloucester have only got one centre back.
He's been paid off by Cheltenham, and he lives locally, I believe, doesn't he?
Yeah,
I think he's actually from London. His family's all from London.
Actually, yeah, we said Harrison Sono was the Gloucester boy.
Gloucester,
yeah, Sona's from Gloucester.
Yeah. But like I said, joking aside, if I was Gloucester City, I'd be all over it and just say, look, come and play for us at the end of the season. We'll keep you fit, ready to move. Because he want to play
in the shop window, doesn't it? He's very unlikely to get picked up by somebody if he's not playing. But if he is playing, and also we're going to have some pretty high profile games by the end of the season where people will be seeing him. So yeah, go on, Daff, go and get him.
That's it. If you're listening, Daff or Colin, get on the phone to him. You fill the gap from Richards Everton, that's for sure, to the end of the season. But yeah, so let's get on to the game then, Chris. Let's just have a listen to what Pete had to say on yesterday's game.
This was a decent performance by Cheltenham, and actually it was a really good game. MK Dons clearly are the best team in the league. Just look at their squad. It's not a League Two squad by any stretch of the imagination, but Cheltenham give a really good account of themselves. Once again, though, the quality of the goals they conceded will really be disappointing. First one was skill. Really terrific chip to the back post by Liam Kelly. Second one, an individual mistake by Jonathan Tomkinson. The third, I'm afraid, another set piece calamity. And Cheltenham had already had a warning when Joe Day made a brilliant save from a corner in the first half. But Cheltenham gave as good as they got, certainly in the first 15 minutes of the second half, where they pinned MK into their own half, playing down the slope. Bickerstaff took his goal really well, Isaac Hutchinson, and what a ball from young Cole Deeming to put him in. So the run continues. At some stage, Cheltenham do need to pick up some points, but yesterday was a much better performance.
What's your thoughts on that, Chris?
Should we just go home? Because Pete's done the job there, to be honest. That's spot on. Absolutely spot on. I couldn't summarise it any better. That's why Pete's paid by the BBC, I guess.
The one positive thing, Chris, on the game was we got through the first 10 minutes without conceding.
Look, we started really well. I thought we started really well. First 15, 20 minutes, I thought we started really quite well. And some of the football we were playing was some of the moves, quick passing. It was really, there was a stage when I thought, am I actually watching the right game here? Yeah, no, it was brilliant. It was an excellent start, and we should have scored.
Yeah, especially against a side who were littered with quality, and Pete alluded on to it there.
Look, their wage budget is larger than Cheltenham Town's annual turnover. It's ridiculous. The players they've got championship quality players in that squad.
Patterson, Mendes Lang, Alex Gilby, Curtis Nelson's just come in from Derby. You know, they are littered. And Aaron Collins up front, they paid £1 million for.
They're paying £1 million for a striker in League Two.
Yeah.
Crazy money.
I was laughing when they made their subs and they brought on Aaron the Main started Hepburn Murphy.
Murphy, yeah. Come off it.
Jay Matete.
Who puts Hepburn Murphy on the bench in League Two? That's crazy.
They didn't even bring on Dan Crowley.
No, or Jay Matete, who they've just signed for Sunderland, who played a big part in their promotion to the Premier League.
Anyway, moral of the story is they're
levels.
Absolutely minted.
There's levels.
Or they've got an awful lot of debt.
No,
probably both.
They was taken over last summer, wasn't they, by some Americans. I know
how they're not top of the league by a country mile. I don't know.
I wish we had that sort of money.
Behave yourself. Sure.
You gotta spend it well though. But the thing is, I know a lot of people don't like MK Dons. And just to touch on them, the infrastructure they got there. If these Americans get it right, they'll be in the championship for a long time.
Yeah, they've got championship facilities. They've got
Premier League
championship
stadium.
Players. Well, Premier League stadium. Yeah, it's good enough for the Premier League, that stadium. Look, they've got all the infrastructure there. They've now got the money. If they don't go up, probably 2 seasons in a row, something's gone wrong.
Yeah, I agree. But the first goal came in the 32nd minute, a corner that the whole stadium didn't know why it was given.
Strange.
You know, he hits it from the outplay line.
When I saw it, I thought, he hasn't touched that.
When even the MK Dons players were just getting back in position. They didn't even ask for a corner.
MK were running back, ready for a goal kick, and ref decides it's a corner.
But I think
I was baffled.
Was it Tompkinson? I think it was Tompkinson.
It was Hutchinson.
No, I think it was Tompkinson was just letting it go out, letting the ball go out.
Right, letting it go out, yeah.
But he said on the halfway line it touched the bottom of the foot of Hutchinson, which it baffles me.
I don't know how it could have hit the bottom of his foot, but there you go.
Yeah, it was a weird one, Chris, wasn't it? But anyway, it doesn't excuse the fact that we didn't defend it properly. I know. Pete said it was a great ball by Liam Kelly, but when you've got a championship defender in Curtis Nelson, one thing you don't do is let him have a free header at the back post.
Well, it wasn't a free header. He got over Cundy. I actually thought it was a foul on Cundy myself. If you look at the replay, I thought it was a foul. But look, a player of his quality is going to put that in the back of the net, whatever defender's anywhere near him. It was a great ball. But we shouldn't have let it get to that situation in the first place. We should have dealt with the first ball in. But there we go.
Yeah. He's the type of player he's played at the championship level. You say it wasn't a free header because obviously Cundy was there, but it wasn't made hard for him, Chris, was it?
No, look, it wasn't. No, it was basically a free header because Cundy didn't jump because he couldn't jump. And and this is why I thought it was a foul. Cundy was basically underneath him, was climbed on him, did well, got the header, scored. But that's what championship quality players will get you.
Yeah, and the one thing we didn't want to do was give them an head start. And
Cheltenham Town have picked up absolutely 0 points when we've conceded first all season.
Yeah. And 5 minutes later, the gift of gifts, Tompkinson gets the ball out wide, doesn't look up, passes it back, and there's Patterson on his own saying thank you very much, takes it around day and taps it home.
Yeah, look, Tompkinson's been good since he's been in, but he'll want to play that moment again, and he nearly did it just before as well earlier. It was one of them, but yeah, look, the pass back was A, too short, and B, not the right pass, because you could see Patterson just waiting for him to try and do it. But yeah, it is what it is. I thought Day was a bit unlucky because he nearly gets his foot to it when he takes it past him. And then I thought Cundy could have tried a bit harder, to be honest, to block it, but it is what it is. Yeah, again, another championship quality player scoring.
Well, just on Rob Cundy, he's for someone who was injured for most of the season. Since he's come back in, he has been really good. But do you feel over the last couple of weeks he's just started a couple of little mistakes start to creep in? I think you're being very kind.
I think he's been very, very good. And I'm not nervous when the ball goes towards him. I'm confident that he's going to do his job 98% of the time. No player's perfect. Some players will make mistakes, but he's not one that I am concerned about.
I think the telling point would be next week when Sam Sheeran's back and see who Cots really fancies. There was one bit in yesterday's game, I don't know whether you've seen it, that Aaron the Main, who I mean is 4 foot. He is literally 4 foot. Out jumps a 6'4" defender. That is unforgivable.
Yeah, I mean, that's poor, but
he's not literally 4 foot, is he?
No. He's 5 foot at the most. 5 foot. He is small.
He's
literally.
I think I might be bigger than him. Put it that way, Dave.
They got a dwarf playing for them.
He is
small. Tiny, but he's rapid. He is so quick. It's unreal.
I tell you what, I'll quickly Google what his height is.
I bet he's no shorter than 5'4".
He done all right for Notts County.
I reckon I'm taller than him, Dave.
Christ, he is 4 foot.
Christ, he's 3 foot.
It's Vern Troyer.
All right, I've over exaggerated. He's 5'6".
There we go.
2 inches under the national average. This poor.
But he is really. Him and Liam Kelly. I said to my wife, I went, Chris, they make Ethan Archer look like he's a giant. They are really small, but still, there's a good foot, but almost a foot between them.
Oh yeah. He shouldn't be losing that, but there are some shorter players that have got really good leaps.
Yeah,
like George Lloyd, for example.
David Speedy used to have a hell of a leap. We had a player, Chris Knowles, and he was about 5'7", and that first corner he'd be marked by somebody who was 5'7", and second corner he'd be marked by somebody who was 6'4", because he could outjump anybody.
But let me counteract that. If he's 5'6",
I wouldn't say Nemain has got an amazing leap, by the way.
He hasn't. That's what I mean. If he's 5'6", with a good jump, he's getting to 6'4".
He shouldn't be beating Rob Cundy. No,
exactly.
To answer your question,
Rob 6'4" with a leap should be leaping to about 6'8" to 7 foot.
Can only jump 4 inches.
In a wheelchair or something.
Ever seen Cristiano Ronaldo's jump?
Robbie Cundy can only jump 4 inches, shocker.
That's probably about right. This is my whole point of this conversation. But yeah, I'm not battering him, Chris, because you're right. He's done well, and he's missed half a season through injury, so he's not going to be, at his fittest or what have you. But I think he's probably the one I think Steve drops to the bench when Sheeran's fit.
I personally think Cundy plays ahead of Sheeran. Personally.
Not a chance. in my opinion, not a chance. We'll see. Let's see when he's fit. Let's see what Steve does. So yeah, that goes in. So the game then flattens out. It looks like we was going to go in at half time, 2-0 down. You know, the atmosphere like died from our end because it looked game over. But a moment of brilliance from Bickerstaff, and we're back in the game.
What an individual goal! What a great individual goal. He gets it's really, really difficult to control, especially when he's being pulled around by some people that are much bigger than him. And then he turns, takes another touch to set himself, and just smashes it bottom corner. Brilliant.
Yeah.
That's what we want from Jake Bickerstaff.
Yeah. And obviously we're going to Cott's thoughts, but Cott's did say after we'll probably see the best of him next season.
Next season, yeah. And I probably agree. Yeah. But if I don't think he's going to be number 10.
No, me neither. Into the second half, as Pete alluded to, we started really well, Chris, didn't we? We pushed them back in those first 15 minutes.
Absolutely dominated them. How we haven't scored in that short 15-minute period, I do not know. We were absolutely peppering them. But yeah, you've got to score when you're on top. And unfortunately, we didn't. And then we got done by an absolute hammer blow.
Yeah, that's the thing you say about being on top and all. And like I said, I'm one of his. I'm not really a stats person, because I just think that if you're having that sort of possession, you know, the aim of the game is to stick the ball in the back of the net. We had 2 shots on target. You know, we was peppering them. You know, we was getting down the left, getting down the right. With the entries into the box I'd be interested to see that stat, to see what the entries into the box were. But I said to my wife,
we have I think 4 or 5 corners in a row.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, it was. But I said to my missus, then I went, we've got to score whilst we're on top. And then as I said that, they go at the other end, get a corner
and score. Yeah,
the ball comes in. To be fair, what a worldie save by Joe Day. Down to his right.
I wouldn't say it's a worldie save. I think it was an average save at best. But
I think you're being very harsh there. We've been harsh on Day. We've got to give him a bit of credit when it's due. He hits that full pelt from about 7-8 yards. He gets down, parries it. And the disappointing thing is I'm going to try and say his name here. Epitete, their centre half.
Ekpitete, it's a K.
Ekpitete. That's why I said Ekpitete. It's got a silent I in it.
Did you two watch the same game?
I definitely
From what
watched
Dan's
the game.
saying, mate, I don't think so. I think he's watched some other game.
I was sat in the stadium and seen it with my own eyes, bang, straight in. But disappointing thing is the centre half's there and nobody reacts, and he hammers it into an empty
finish,
net.
mind. It's a good finish.
Yeah, it was a
good
decent
finish. You'd expect him to finish it. You'd expect any professional footballer to be able to put it in the back of the net. But I thought it was a good finish.
Couldn't really miss.
There's nothing you can do about it. That finish. Could Day do better scooping it away? Possibly, but that's really, 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 really harsh. It's just one of those.
Yeah, watch it back again. I think you're being harsh on Day. I think it was a really good save. Very close it was.
Think what you want, mate.
Eh?
Think what you want, mate.
I do. So yeah, that makes it 3-1, and then again I'm there thinking another set piece, and that's 2 goals. That's 2 goals by set pieces, and a back pass, Chris.
Yeah,
which is lost.
Set pieces has been our undoing quite a few times lately. It's frustrating, but look. I think personally, we've got 17 games left. I think we need to win 4, and we're fine.
Yeah, I think 4-2 would be enough. But you know, the game wasn't over. Cott's made a couple of saves. I'm talking about Joe Day. Got saves in there.
Yeah, Joe Day was that bad. Cott's put himself in goal.
Cottrell come on and put the gloves on. Cottrell made a couple of subs. Deemin and Ashfield come on. Ashfield, I think, got really stuck in and played some neat little football. But the goal,
he was clearly quite nervous to start with. I thought he looked nervous. But and he gave the ball away a few times. But you're going to get that. I think, it's his first.
It's his first loan spell. Yeah.
First loan spell, yeah. So yeah, he wants to impress, probably trying a bit too hard. But after 5-10 minutes, he settled in, and I thought he did all right. Demon, I thought, was excellent when he came on, capped off by probably what we're about to cover now.
Yeah, a great ball by Demon through to Hutchinson.
Mate,
and
what a pass. I literally said, as he played the ball, what a pass.
Yeah, it was a defense. It was one of those ones where you just go, there you go and finish it, because it's put on the plate, isn't it? But
it's such a good ball, and that's what we've been missing. So what Cheltenham have been missing is a player that can do that. Open a team up with one ball, and it was beautiful. A thing of absolute beauty.
Yeah, it was a good ball. But the thing is, Hutchinson still had it all to do, the way he cut back inside, and he bent it back.
Hutch was never going to hit that with his left foot. I've got to be honest.
No.
He was always cutting back. But yeah, it's a good finish as well. Just curled it around the keeper. Lovely finish.
And to top it off, I know some fans.
I absolutely love this, by the way.
Don't like it, but he kissed the badge. That
kissed the badge,
nice.
Pointed to block one. I think he's made his point.
Yeah, 100%. I missed him kissing the badge. It was only after when people said about it, and I was just like, absolutely brilliant. It's because we're all suckers for players who love your club, aren't we? It don't matter who you support.
We need to do everything within our power to sign him permanently in the summer.
I put that on X. I said I think the club need to probably go above their wage structure in the summer. And if, you'll have to pay a fee because he's still got a year with Bristol Rovers having an option of another, is break the Aidan Keena transfer record, bring him in, build the team. He scored 11 goals this season. 11 goals. That's for
Isn't it 9? 9 for us.
It's nine for us, but 11 in all. Yeah. For a midfielder, that's a brilliant return. And in a side was not pulling up trees either. So yeah, Russ, Steve, Keith, if you listen to this, make it happen. So that was 3-2, Chris, and then there was 6 minutes added on. We couldn't really do anything, could we? We didn't really threaten.
Nah, they managed the game quite well from that point, unfortunately for us. It was... I'd never thought we'd get a point out of that game anyway, so... if we did get a point, it would have been a massive bonus point. But they did well to see the game out, but we didn't really threaten too much.
I thought that, and I said this. I put it on X as well. I said this walking back to Sean was quick to take the mick out of me because I put quad instead of squad. But I was saying on the way back to the car that for a side that had so much quality in it, that having the likes of your Nelsons, your Pattersons, who obviously played at a really
I thought we were the better team over the 90 minutes.
We were decent, but what I thought they'd done well, like I said, with the quality, they'd seen the game out well. They played the dark arts. They was breaking up play. They was wasting time, and
they got a couple of bookings for wasting time. But it's one of those things. They're like I say, they're championship quality teams, and you would expect players, and you would expect championship quality players to be able to see a game out better than a league, probably League 2 / National League players to see a game out.
Yeah, bit harsh for the National League bit, but League 2, I agree. So. Yeah, that was the end of the game. Cott's thoughts. Said it was one of those performances where you leave the ground feeling positive, and I agree.
Definitely. I thought we were the better team.
Yeah.
Over the 90 minutes.
He said really pleased for Hutchinson, which obviously we all was. Have to keep going. Those performances will bring positive results. Seen more at Beat Chris than what he did at Accrington.
Yeah, I think because of the performance, I think the performance was actually really good. And if we play like that, in our remaining 17 games will pick up a lot more than 4 wins.
Yeah, it was a weird performance. I think you look at the run we're on, because it is only 1 win in 6, and the run we're on. Only game I think we absolutely deserved to lose was Accrington.
Accrington, yeah.
Accrington deserved the points hands down. Chances we missed at Oldham were unforgivable. Grimsby again, they scored a worldie, and then it is with that cross to make it 2-0. But one person I want to talk about, Chris, and you've been quite vocal about him. You was impressed with Davison.
Mate, Davison was absolutely excellent. A lot of people will disagree with me, but I thought he was phenomenal yesterday.
To be fair, you're probably the best person to look at his performance, because he's a proper donkey.
Wow.
The banter's coming back now, Chris. Sean's been playing for weeks.
What a statement that is, by the way. No, he was excellent. I thought he was brilliant. He was exactly what we've been missing up top. He had a presence. He won loads of headers. He bullied the championship quality centre. Bullied is a bit hard. Is a bit far, but he certainly gave as good as he got against championship quality centre halves. His link-up play with his feet was excellent, and he was central to a lot of the good moves that we put together. Although the one criticism I've got is I don't remember him having a shot.
No, I was just about to say that. I think everything you said there, he offers different to what George Miller does. George Miller will probably score more goals than Davison.
Probably, yes.
Because he is that sort of player. But we've been missing that. It's just a shame we still haven't got Archer, because the front three behind him would benefit from through what he done yesterday. He beat Nelson in the air a few times, and
he won quite a few headers. I was really impressed with Davison yesterday. I thought he was definitely a standout. Great first performance, great first start.
Yeah. And finally, obviously Harrogate won. It's their first win in 19 September. The last time they won, and a fair play to the club for sticking by their manager as well. But Harrogate won. Newport.
Is it still Simon Weaver?
Yeah.
His dad's chairman, isn't he?
His dad's the chairman, Dan.
That's probably why they've stuck with him for like 27 years now. He ain't going to sack his son, is he?
But it's a professional football club, which dropping out the Football League, I believe, is like a loss of about £1.5 million.
Pretty sure they're going to go down anyway, Dan, I've got to be honest.
Well, that win yesterday drags them back in. They're only 9 points behind us, and we're 18th.
I think
I was looking at the form table. Their form is exactly the same as yours, but surprisingly, you've conceded more goals.
Yeah, they said that. Yep, I thought when we played them at Wadham Road, they were nowhere near by far the worst team I've seen this season. I thought Crawley were worse. I thought Shrewsbury were worse. The Rovers, but they've added a few decent quality players to their side, so I don't see them being a problem.
Lost yesterday, man.
They did, but 3-2 to Chesterfield chasing the playoffs. Pretty much same as us, I suppose. Do I think we're going to go down, Chris? No. But do I think we're safe? Absolutely not. Let's not be around the bush. We've won 1 in 6. There was
like I've already alluded to, Dan. I think we need to pick up 4 more wins, and I think that'll be enough. Will that be acceptable? No, I wouldn't say so. But it will keep us in the division.
Oh yeah. Well, we've got Barnet, Bromley, and Salford in our next 3. That is, again,
it's a tough run. It's a really tough run. We need to get through this month, and then
we finished the month
with a few points. But
we finished the month at Harrogate. So if we get any points out of the next 3 games, I'll be surprised. But massive games. Right. Thanks for that, Chris. That's Cheltenham Town. Let's go to Sean for Scores on the Doors.
Next up is Talk of the County's Prediction League and Scores on the Doors by Sean Baker.
We're all prolific this week.
To be fair, it's been quite a good week for 3 of us. Dan? not you. I was quite buzzing because when I worked mine out first and I had +6, so I thought I was going to hit top of the table.
Exactly the same.
And then I saw Dave got +6 as well. Chris got +5, and Dan, I think you got +2.
Oh, dear me.
So as it stands, Dave is top on 53. I'm second on 51. Chris has leapfrogged Dan on alphabetical order, 45, and Dan, you're bottom on 45. Because your name starts with D and we all know what that stands for.
Daniel.
So, yeah.
Reginald.
There's been a little bit of movement in the table this week.
Well, Sean's being brutal today, isn't he? I went quite easy on him, the fact that they've signed 600 players and they've only won one full season.
I haven't forgot your bus tweet.
Right.
So
Let's get picking then. Let's get picking.
So that's the I'm bottom of the league. But as I keep saying, when Chris was bottom of the league, it's a long way to go yet. Plenty more points.
I was a long way off as well. I was quite a long way back.
Yes, he's creep.
Dave was as well. Dave was like couldn't buy any points, and now he's top of the league. So let's go on to the games for next week. As I said, Cheltenham start off with a tough run. Well, we started out this Saturday. We were away to Barnet, 12:30 kickoff live on Sky Sports Plus on Saturday. Do you guys know what it's like to be on Sky Sports? No? Okay. Anyway.
My team does.
Head to head, there's been 17. Cheltenham have won 5. Barnet have won 5. And there's been 7 draws. Last time out was 1-0 defeat in August at Wadham Road. Chris, how did you see the game and your predictions?
Tough game. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw.
Dave?
2-1 Barnet.
Sean?
Yeah, I might go 3-1 Barnet.
I'm going to go with... I was going to go 1-1, but I'm going to go 1-0 Cheltenham.
What did Chris say?
1-1.
Why are you bottom again?
Because I've been taking risks. Yeah, Shamanga's on banging form since he signed for them. And then on Tuesday night, at Forest Green travelled to Wednesday. Is it Wednesday or Tuesday?
I think it's Wednesday.
Wednesday, sorry. It is. It is Wednesday. Wednesday, Forest Green travelled to Rochdale. Head to head, there's been 6. Forest Green have won 4. Rochdale had won 1, and there's been 1 draw. Last time out was a 1-0 loss for Forest Green at the New Lawn in October. Sean, your thoughts and predictions?
It's going to be a tough game. Rochdale have been ridiculous this season. I was looking at the table last night. They literally drew 1 game and lost 4. They've won 23, I think, out of 28. It's crazy. But I think they're going to lose 5. We're going to beat them 2-1.
Chris?
1-0 Rochdale.
Dave?
2-1 Rochdale.
I'm going to go 2-0 Rochdale. And then on Saturday, we say about our tough run of fixtures. Sean, yours continues with a 5:30 kickoff again on DAZN. There's been 15 head-to-heads with you and Carlisle. Forest Green have won 6, Carlisle won 6, and there's been 3 draws. Your thoughts and prediction?
I'm a bit more confident on this game purely because I know Carlisle are missing Regan Linney and Georgie Kelly, who's been quite good for him. So I fancy us to beat him. Again, I might go 2-1 Forest Green.
Chris?
2-0 Carlisle.
Dave?
2-1 Carlisle.
I'm going to go 2-2. 2 will draw. And then on to Gloucester. They travel to Chertsey. Head-to-head, there's been 3. Gloucester 2 wins. Chertsey 1. No draws. Last time out was a 2-0 win in November for City. How do you see the game in predictions, Dave?
Tough game, I think. We're starting to find a bit of form. I'm going to go 2-1 City.
Chris?
2-1 Gloucester.
Sean?
I'm gonna go 3-1 Gloucester.
I'm going to go with a 2-1 Gloucester. Brilliant. That's a good place to leave it.
Did you do Saturday, Cheltenham? Was that all the games?
That was all the games, yeah. 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 So that's a good place to leave it. Thanks for joining us, Chris.
Pleasure.
Thanks for joining us, Sean.
No problem. Cheers, mate.
And as always, Dave, thanks for joining us. Give us a follow on X, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. On a weekend where the Rovens were MK but 4 to defeat. Rovers not on T in Yorkshire, but 6 points for City in a week. And the playoffs are firmly on. See you next time.